The most famous fairy tale castles are the ones that originate from legends and myths. Well-known examples are King Arthur's Camelot and the Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty castles that can be found in several theme parks around the world. These real fairy tale castles are just as magical, and most are associated with stories and fairy tales of their own. In this video, we explore the best magnificent fairy tale castles around the world. We've collected a list of the top Helen attractions, so make sure to include them in your list if you're a visitor. At first in the list, number 1, Neuschwanstein. The ultimate fairy tale castle, Neuschwanstein, is on a rugged hill near Füssen in southwest Bavaria. It was the inspiration for the Sleeping Beauty castles in the Disneyland parks. King Ludwig II of Bavaria commissioned the castle as a retreat and homage to Richard Wagner. The castle was near completion in 1886 when the king was declared insane by a state commission and found dead a few days later. Since then, over 50 million people have visited Neuschwanstein. It is the most photographed building in Germany and is one of the country's most popular tourist destinations. Number 2, Alcazar of Segovia. Rising out on a rocky crag above the confluence of the rivers Eresma and Clamars in Segovia, the Alcazar is one of Spain's most famous castles. The Alcazar was originally built as an Arab fort but has served as a royal palace, a state prison, a royal artillery college and a military academy since then. During the Middle Ages, it was one of the favorite residences of the monarchs of the Kingdom of Castile and a key fortress in the defense of the kingdom. It was during this period the majority of the current building was constructed. Number 3, Krak des Chevaliers. Krak des Chevaliers is widely recognized as the archetypal Crusader castle. The word Krak comes from the Syriac Krak, meaning fortress. Described by Lawrence of Arabia as perhaps the best preserved and most wholly admirable castle in the world, this somewhat isolated site is located magnificently atop a 650-meter high hill and is, indeed, extremely well preserved. The original fortress at the location had been built in 1031 for the Emir of Aleppo and captured during the First Crusade. It was by the Knights Hospitaller as their headquarters. Number 4, Warwick Castle. Warwick Castle was built by William the Conqueror in 1068. Since its construction in the 11th century, the castle has undergone structural changes by adding towers and redesigned residential buildings. Originally a wooden structure, it was rebuilt in stone in the 12th century. During the Hundred Years' War, the facade opposite the town was refortified, resulting in one of the most recognizable examples of 14th century military architecture. Number 5, Burg Eltz. Burg Eltz is a medieval castle in the hills above the Moselle River between Koblenz and Trier in Germany. It is still owned by a branch of the Eltz family that lived there in the 12th century, 33 generations ago. The Rubinach and Rodendorf families' homes in the castle are open to the public, while the Kempenich family uses the other third of the castle. Number 6. Matsumoto Castle. Built in the 16th century, Matsumoto Castle is considered one of Japan's most famous castles. It is a flatland castle because it is not built on a hilltop or amid rivers but on a plain. The castle's defenses included an extensive system of interconnecting walls, moats, and gatehouses. During the Edo period, the castle was ruled by the 23 lords of Matsumoto, representing 6 different daimyo families. The stronghold was also known as Crow Castle in this period because its black walls and roofs looked like spreading wings. Number 7. Conwy Castle. Conwy Castle was built between 1283 and 1289 during King Edward I's second campaign in North Wales. 6 years later, the castle was besieged by the last native Prince of Wales. The siege lasted for several months, and supplies ran low. However, the castle and town were not captured. An estimated £15,000 was spent building the castle and the town's defences. The cost of all of his 5 major castles in Wales was around £60,000. The total cost to Edward for his Welsh campaigns and castle building was £250,000 in the region. More than 10 times his annual income. Number 8. Chateau du Haut-Koenigsbourg. The Chateau du Haut-Koenigsbourg is nestled strategically on a high hill overlooking the Alsatian plain in the Vosges Mountains, France. It was used by successive powers from the Middle Ages until the 30 Years' War, when the castle was burned and pillaged by Swedish troops after a 52-day siege. After this, the chateau was left unused for a few hundred years and overgrown by forest. In 1899 it was given to the German Emperor Wilhelm II and rebuilt as it was on the eve of the 30 Years' War. Number 9. Heidelberg Castle. The castle is located 80 meters, 260 feet, up the northern part of a hillside and dominates the view of the old center of the German city of Heidelberg. The castle ruins are among the most important Renaissance structures north of the Alps. It has had a long and turbulent history since the earliest castle structure was built in the 13th century. Having been destroyed during the 30 Years' War and later by the French in the 17th century, the castle was struck by lightning in 1764, and even its stones were taken to build new houses in Heidelberg. At last in the list, number 10, Bran Castle. Bran Castle is commonly referred to as Dracula's Castle in Romania, although Vlad Tepes never called this castle his home. The castle was first used in 1378 in defense against the Ottoman Empire and later became a customs post on the mountain pass between Transylvania and Wallachia. While Vlad Tepes, the historical figure used in Bram Stoker's vampire novel, did not live in Bran Castle, he spent 2 days locked in the dungeon while the Ottomans controlled Transylvania. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite magnificent fairy tale castles around the world? Is there something we missed? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to Greenable if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.